Hey everybody, it's Yasmin here. So for those of you who have no clue who I am, my name is Yasmin Boland. I'm an astrologer, I'm a moonologer. I'm the author of lots of books, including this one, which you may know. Hello Sammy. This is Moonology, which came out 5 years ago this month. So that and everything else I've ever written for Hay House or created is actually on 50% discount with Hay House at the moment. Hello Renee. Hello Stephanie. These are my Moonology cards. Currently possibly the best-selling oracle cards in the whole wide world, incredibly. Hello Sharon. Hello Varuna. Hi everybody. So this is 5 years since Moonology came out, and if you would like to get, I'm just going to tell you this before we start the full moon ceremony, if you'd like to get anything that I've ever written or created for Hay House, including my Moonology book, which basically started it all, my diary for next year, as far as I'm aware, it's still on 50% discount until midnight tonight, I think. All right, so and the link's above. It's you put in http smarturl.it/Yasmin sale. So smarturl.it/Yasmin sale. And as far as I'm aware, you can still get every single thing of mine with 50% off. Susan Varner says, thanks for doing this while you're en vacances. Yes, I'm actually currently on holiday in France. But you know what? This isn't work for me. I've been doing these full moon, I've been doing new moon and full moon ceremonies and rituals online on Facebook, either on the Hay House page or on my page. I don't know for how long, 2 years, 3 years, something like that. And it's one of the best things I've ever done because it keeps me on track, because I'm like anyone else, you know, I can quite easily just sit on the couch. Actually, as it happens today, I'm feeling really motivated, but there have been times when, you know, it's like, oh, it's late, or I've had a hard day, or it's a bit cold, because normally I do these outside because I usually have a big fire. Today I'm doing it inside because I'm on holidays and I don't want to kind of take over the whole place for my friends who are here, who we're staying with. But yeah, so doing these keeps me on track, just like I hope it helps keep you on track. So for those of you who are new to Moonology, the idea is at new moon, we set our intentions. During the waxing cycle, which is new moon to full moon, it's 2 weeks, we work hard on achieving our goals, and then at full moon, we throw it all out to the universe. All right, so that's where we are now. We're at the time when we are going to release. Now, what you might not know is that this new moon is taking place in the sign of Aquarius. It's the full moon in Aquarius. If you have my beautiful diary, this is the one for this year. It's sold out. This is the one for next year, which I believe you can get at half price on the link above, but don't hold me to it. I'm not sure if the sale's still going or it's finished. Anyway, so this is the time of the new moon, okay? So in London, so it's taking place at 3:36 a.m. That's tomorrow morning on the 24th of July. So in Paris, because I'm on Paris time now, it'll be 4:36 a.m. In Sydney, it's the 24th of July at 12:36 p.m. So 36 minutes past midday. LA, it's July 23 at 19:36. That's 7:36 p.m. on the 23rd of July. And in New York, it's the 23rd of July at 36 past 10 p.m. 36 past 10 p.m. So I'm going to talk about the full moon in a minute, but I actually am going to do a few cards for people, just because I actually did the Hay House Oracle Hour. I'm going to do one for someone who I just said I'd love a card if you feel drawn to doing it, and that's for Peyton, and I will feel drawn to doing that, Peyton. So here's a card for you, Peyton. If you have a question, put it in the comments. All right, Peyton, are you ready? This is your card. Ooh, we got this the other day, actually. It's your dreams need a practical plan, Peyton. So that is pretty clear what that means. It means that it's all very well, I said this in the Hay House Oracle Hour yesterday, but it's all very well doing your woo-woo stuff, doing your meditations and your chanting. We're going to do a bit of chanting tonight, doing your wish list and all that, but you also have to be practical, okay? We are in 3D. We are here to manifest, but manifest isn't just a question of, oh, I wish for a red Mercedes convertible in my driveway, or, you know, I wish for a driveway. It's also about doing what it takes to get to what you want. And the best way I know of is to do new moon wishes, set intentions, write yourself bullet points, go in baby steps. Your dreams need a practical plan. Peyton, I hope you're not sorry that you asked. And I'll do a couple more cards as we go through later on today, tonight, today, wherever you are. So one thing I wanted to mention to you is that so the full moon tonight is in the sign of Aquarius. Sorry, one thing I wanted to say, someone said, can you spell the name of your book? Is that backwards for you guys, or can you see it? It's Moonology. 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 It's been out 5 years this month. It's still in the top 10 Amazon Astrology bestsellers, and yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do a card for Shah, who's quite unwell right now. So Shah, here is a card for you. Oh, here's a card for you. Oh, it's a really good affirmation if you're unwell. You are good enough. Shah, you are good enough. You are good enough. Know that you are good enough. Maybe that's one of the keys to your healing. Know that you are good enough, okay? All right, so as I was saying, this full moon is in the sign of Aquarius, and what I really want to say first off is the first of 2 full moons in Aquarius. There's this one, and in a month we get another one. All right, so this is a mixed bag of a full moon stuck between eruptive Pluto and hard-bitten Saturn. In ancient astrology, this wouldn't have been regarded as a good thing. However, in modern astrology, it's seen as a chance to have a life clear out and then put some new structures in place. Very nicely, the nearest alignment after the full moon is between mind planet Mercury and numinous Neptune. In other words, if you're on the spiritual path, you have a lovely chance to really go higher with your spiritual practice at the full moon and in the coming months. So we're going to do a bit of chanting to take us all a bit higher tonight. Meditation, chanting, yoga and journaling will work a treat. The full moon is also good for the traditional letting go and forgiving. We will be doing that. It's in Aquarius, so at some level you can detach yourself. Aquarius is a sign where you can detach yourself from the past and move on. Very often, as with most things, it's about intention. So when you do your full moon work, try to feel as detached as you can from whomever you're forgiving. It'll make things easier. There's also a lovely Mercury-Pluto alignment building that's going to make space for powerful conversations if that's something you need to have. Note that this is the first of 2 full moons in Aquarius. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you where in your chart it's taking place. So if you are Aries, listen to your rising sign if you know it. If you're Aries or Aries rising, it's your 11th house of friends, okay? So there's some kind of change, letting go, climax, conclusion, or, you know, just a focus. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, it's your 10th house, and you need to find a balance between home and work. If you're Gemini or Gemini rising, it's your 9th house, so you need to find a balance between where you are and where you think you want to be. If you're a moon child or moon child rising, Cancerian, it's in your 8th house. So it's about money. So it's about trying to find a balance between what you earn and what someone else offers you. If you're Leo or Leo rising, it's your 7th house, so it's about climaxes and conclusions in your love life. Virgo or Virgo rising, it's your 6th house, so it's really a matter of finding a balance between woo-woo land and practicalities. If you're Libra or Libra rising, it's in your 5th house, so for you it's a balance between what you want and what your friends want. Scorpio or Scorpio rising, it's your 4th house, so like Taurians, it's about finding a balance between work and play. Work and family. Sagittarius or Sagittarius rises in your 3rd house, so it's really a time for you to find a balance between what you're thinking and what you're dreaming of, and what's going to be practical. Capricorn or Capricorn rising, it's in your 2nd house, so it's really a time for you to balance any negative feelings about yourself and to start to look at your self-esteem, and also it can be about cash, conclusions and climaxes. Aquarius, it's in your 1st house, so it's about how the world sees you, finding a balance between who you are and what other people want from you. And Pisces in your 12th house, so it's about finding a balance between the everyday and all the spiritual work you'd like to do. Someone's saying they don't know their rising sign. It's really good to find out your rising sign. You'll get much more accurate readings when you read my books or you listen to do my horoscopes, anyone's horoscopes. Okay, so I'll tell you how to quickly find it. If somebody can put it in the comments, I'll say it really slowly. You can find your chart out for free at moonmessages.com/free chart. moonmessages.com/free chart. All right, so what you need to know about this full moon is wherever I just told you it's highlighting and you're getting a chance to release and let go, okay? Actually, this is the first of 2 chances you're going to get about this. So in fact, it's really worth thinking, okay, I need to let go or release, or I need to find a balance. The full moon's always about a tug of war, a balance. So, it's always about that. It's also always about that. So where do you need to find a balance? So, with Aries, I don't think I said it actually for Aries, but for Aries, it's very much a balance about what my friends want versus what I need and want. And then I think I did say it for all the other signs. For Taurus and Taurus rising, it's work and home, balance, tug of war, that kind of thing. So what's important to realize is that we're actually in a cycle of having 2 full moons in a row. In the same sign. Now that doesn't happen a lot, and it means that whatever we incarnated in whatever rising sign we are, because at this point in our life we need to find a balance in this part of our life. So just bear that in mind as you think about what you want. I also wanted to mention something. This full moon is actually Guru Purnima, which basically is the full moon where we honor our teachers. And so, if you have a teacher that you love and respect, who's really helped you, it's a really good time to kind of do a little prayer of thanks, or you can mention them in the comments and maybe link to their page. Or what I wanted to do is mention one of my teachers. I've actually done a whole post about this teacher of mine who's called Sri Shakti Narayani Amma. And Amma is a teacher in southern India, and there we go. And I first went to what I call Ammaland, Pedam, the area, the temple where Amma is. I think, my son is 14 and a half, and it was about a year before he was born. So it must have been about 15 and a half years ago. And it's in southern India in a little town called Tirumalakodi. And I had always been on the spiritual path. Like many Christians, I had fallen by the wayside in terms of the church teachings, which, the more I realise about how Christianity developed and wiped out all the old ways, the more I understand why that didn't work for me. I've been reading a lot about that lately. I don't have the book here right now, but I've been reading some books about it, which are kind of mind-blowing. Basically, you know, we had all these old ways, and we kind of know all this, like we get told all this, but it's not about till you read about it in actual proper books and you start to research it, and, you know, you read the work of incredible people like Maria Gimbutas, who was, you know, an amazing researcher whose work was considered groundbreaking. And you see, you know, like actually women were magical and it was a really good thing, and it was all kind of wiped out by Christianity. So when I say that I had this thing with, I was brought up a Catholic, and I kind of just went off the path, and I always thought it was because the priest told me, you know, oh, you can't share a flat with a man because he'll corrupt you, or, you know, a priest told me, oh, you're not going to be friends with your friends for much longer because they're all heathens, and all this kind of stuff. And I kind of thought that's why I moved away from Christianity. But actually, I think the more I realize and read about what happened with Christianity and how it just sort of wiped things out, the more I know why I moved away from it. And can I just say, I still feel a connection to Christ, to Jesus Christ. Maybe it's conditioning, or maybe Christ really was someone very special like Buddha and so on. But I'm not that into the church as a whole. Anyway, so eventually my quest for spirituality led me to India. And I think it was 2004 when I first went to the ashram. I went there for 5 days. I stayed for 5 weeks and it changed my life. And if you are already on my page, Yasmin Boland, I have a page called Yasmin Boland, which is my name. I've written a big post about Amma today, my teacher, and I just like to honor Amma here right now as being an amazing teacher. It's not, you know, it's nothing weird. Amma doesn't even say that much. Amma just does a lot of chanting. There's no doctrine. What Amma does say is we are all divine. And we are all God. It's just that some of us know it more than others. There's no weird doctrine, but there's a lot of teachings about goddesses, which is really a part of my spirituality. So yeah, Guru Purnima. Om Namo Narayani, Om Namo Narayani, Om Namo Narayani. Thank you, Amma, for all the teachings. Knowing Amma has changed my life, and Amma is in India, and it's really hard to get there right now, so I probably won't go there for another year or two. So there we go. So let's talk about this full moon and how we can best use it. And the best way to use it is to forgive, okay? That is the best way to use any full moon. So who do you need to forgive? Maybe you need to forgive yourself. I actually feel like this month I need to forgive myself because I've been being a little bit of a worrywart about something, and I know, you know, I can be a real worrywart. So I'm going to forgive myself for my tendency to fret. And, you know, what are you going to forgive yourself for? Put it in the comments if you'd like to share. If you'd like to share who or what you are forgiving. Okay, so Saluna WL says myself. Oh, Peyton says, I honor you so much, Yasmin. Thank you for teaching me a new way. I mean, honestly, in the 5 years since Moonology came out, I know that I have helped women connect with their own power. We were all born with this power and it was taken away from us. There is just no doubt about this. This isn't something I'm just saying, you know, like, oh, we were born powerful and then they took it away. It's fact. Once you start to study this stuff, you understand why so many people say to me, oh my God, working with the moon has changed my life. Like, I get that comment, I mean, multiple times a week, people saying, what you've taught me about working with the moon has changed my life. And I actually don't really take credit for it because I didn't make this up. You know, this is actually tapping into ancient wisdom. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. And I feel like my teacher in India, Sri Shakti Narayani Amma, helped me with it because when I was writing Moonology, all those years ago, I knew exactly what to do with the new moon, because women have traditionally sent out their intentions at the time of the new moon. But when I was writing Moonology, I was like, I know what I want to help people with. I knew the astrology of the full moon because I'm an astrologer, but I also knew that what was coming up with me at around that time was about forgiveness and release. And that was because I'd spent so much time in India where they do big full moon ceremonies. And I just knew that was what was going on at those ceremonies. We were processing stuff, processing a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's what we do. The new moon, we make wishes, and now at full moon, we do release work. So what I thought I would do today, you're all saying, like Helen Bell, I'm forgiving myself for not standing up for me. That's a big one. Stacey, I'm forgiving myself for allowing myself to be taken advantage of in relationships. Yep. Ali, I want to forgive myself for beating myself up for not standing up for myself. Peyton, I'm forgiving myself for being disorganized. Carol, forgiving myself for being a worrier. Yeah, join the club. Sammy, it's amazing. Many of you are saying I'm forgiving myself for not standing up for myself. It's a really important thing, standing up for yourself. I am far too bolshy. I stand up for myself too much. Deborah, oh, I'm so sorry about your mum. Sending lots of love. Sammy says she likes the structure of Moonology. Yeah. Okay, so one of the things, if you have my book, you will know about this. And if you don't have my book, like I said, you can get it with 50% off. This is like only because it's 5 years this month that the book came out, Moonology. And actually the 50% off sale, I think it ends tonight at midnight LA time or UK time. I'm not actually sure. But on page 143 of Moonology is the full moon forgiveness and karma release formula. And just because it's 5 years since Moonology came out this week, I will share with you again, some of you will have heard this, of how I got this full moon forgiveness and karma release formula, which is in the book, which I'm about to read. And it's very powerful, so get ready. So what happened was I actually came upon it once upon a time on the internet. And it was attributed to a man called Charles Phillimore of the Unity Church, I believe. Unity Church, yes. And I now do a weekly radio show for Unity Online Radio, which is associated with Charles Phillimore. So I feel like I've got some funny connection with him. Anyway, I used to do it all the time and just do this forgiveness thing. I did it at full moon just by myself before I wrote the book. And I used to do forgiveness before I wrote the book because I just felt like all the emotions come up. So it's a really good time to process them. Otherwise, if we don't process our emotions, then we get into trouble. Anyway, so when I was writing the book, I thought I want to use that forgiveness formula for forgiveness from Charles Phillimore from the Unity Church. And so I found out, unfortunately, that he had passed away. So I wrote to this woman called Catherine Ponder, who many of you will have heard of. And as far as I know, she is still with us. She's in her late 90s by now, but she worked with Charles Phillimore. And so I wrote to her and I said, listen, I'm writing this book called Moonology. I do full moon forgiveness work. I want to introduce it in this book to everybody. And I think that formula for forgiveness that Charles Phillimore wrote was just amazing. And do you know how I can get permission? Because I know that you knew him. They worked together. And she said, she wrote back to me, amazing, like all snail mail from America to London. And she said, I actually don't remember who wrote that anymore, Yasmin. But you have my permission to use it and even to change it as you want. Because I'd said, can I tweak it a little bit? And she said, yes. So there you go. Someone's saying, is the formula for forgiveness in the 2021 diary? No, I don't think it is actually. It's in this book here, but It might be in the 2022 diary. Somebody else is saying it's only 30% off. It might be down to 30% because the sale is running out. But 30% is better than no percent off, and it will be, the whole sale will be over quite soon. So grab it while you can. All right. In fact, maybe they ended at the full moon. That would make a lot of sense, because one thing to know about the full moon is it's when things peak. Okay, it's when things peak, and it's a really good time to end things. And then when we go into the waning cycle, just let it all go, do nothing. Do as little as you can in the waning cycle and go for it in the waxing cycle. So, all right, I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to put on, actually, no, I won't, because it's just too complicated. Okay, I was going to put on Edo and Joe, but I'm just going to do this because I actually got a copyright strike once for music, but I'm not sure if it was that or the chanting, and I'm just a bit nervous, even though I have permission, full permission. But let's just do it like this, it's fine. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, okay? Just close your eyes and just connect with your breath. Close your eyes. You know what? I am going to put on Edo and Joe. I am putting them on, and I'll put a link to them in the description after we finish. Here we go. All right. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Let me know. Oh, Sandy says it is in the diary. It is in the diary, apparently. Okay, here we go. We'll just listen to a little bit of their beautiful music to help us get in the mood. It's Edo and Joe, EDO and Joe, JO.com. And this track is Om Namo Narayani, which means I surrender to the Divine Mother. And it's the chant at the ashram that I go to with the teacher that I was honouring, because it's Guru Purnima. All right, just close your eyes. And just breathe. Just imagine the beautiful full moon up in the skies. Hasn't quite peaked, hasn't quite reached fullness yet. And just feel all your feelings. And just acknowledge how you're feeling. And just thank your teachers, whoever your teachers are. And just breathe. Om Namo Narayani, I surrender to the divine, and I am divine. Say it with me. Om Namo Narayani, I surrender to the divine, and I am divine. You are divine. All right. All right, so here we go. Under the glorious full moon, say it after me. Under the glorious full moon, silently or out loud, I forgive everything, everyone, every experience, every memory of the past or present that needs forgiveness. I forgive positively everyone. I also forgive myself of past mistakes. The universe is love, and I am forgiven and governed by love alone. Love is now adjusting my life, realizing this, I abide in peace. I bring love and healing to all my thoughts, beliefs, and relationships. I learn my lessons and I move on. I call on my soul fragments to be cleansed by the full moon, and I call on them to rejoin me. I send love to myself and everyone I know and everyone who knows me in all directions of time. Under this glorious full moon, I am healed. My life is healed. And so it is. So be it. See, that's the reason why I do these, because they really are something to do. Just sit quietly for a moment. And just breathe. All right, so now what I'm going to ask you to do is to get a piece of paper. If you've got my diary, there is a space to do this. I know many of you don't like to rip pages out of your diary, but it's right here, the full moon forgiveness list. All right. And I'm going to ask you, or just write it in the comments, or write it on a separate piece of paper. You could have a little journal sort of thing like that. I'm going to ask you, we're going to keep playing some music. Write down what you are releasing at full moon. What are you releasing at full moon? Just write it down. Gia says, so powerful, I could feel the tingles and joy. Beautiful. So we'll just take a minute to write down what we're releasing. And you can also write what will happen if you release that fear. What will happen? So Liesel's saying releasing doubt, fear, and control. Emma's saying releasing shame. What will happen if you release that, when you release that? And I'm actually going to burn. So Dawn, put in the comments, what will releasing control do if you want to? What will releasing fear do, Mavi? Okay, I'm going to burn this outside later and I will put it on my Facebook page. If you're not already on my Facebook page, you can click my name in the description and you'll go to my Facebook page, and I will post burning this later, and I will put it on my Facebook page so you can see. And I will burn that for myself, but I will also be burning it for everybody else. I'll be burning it for you as you release. It will be a symbolic burning for everybody, okay? So I will record that and I will put it on my Facebook page. I'll do it straight after we finish here, okay? All right. All right, okay. So I want to end today's full moon session with a chant. And I'm going to be doing a chant which I learned in India. I'm going to be doing a chant I learned in India, and I'd love you to do it with me if you'd like to. It's just 3 words. They are Sanskrit words. It's the chant of the ashram that I go to in India, which is the Sri Narayani Peetham. Narayani is the name of an Indian goddess made up of 3 goddesses, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga. Okay? Now, I'm not Hindu. I'm not anything anymore. I'm not really Catholic. I don't think the Catholic Church would have me. You know, I'm Christian in as much as I do seem to still feel some kind of connection with Jesus. But, you know, this is just something I learned in India at this ashram where I've been honouring my teacher today. And I invite you to do the chant with me. And it means Om is like, my friend Chris Dorji Walker, who was a Buddhist monk for 5 years, says it's like picking up the telephone to the divine. Om. Hello, divine. Namo means I surrender. Narayani is the goddess I just mentioned, made up of Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga. You can Google all those goddesses and find out about them. They're amazing goddesses. And it means I surrender everything to the divine. So everything that we're surrendering, everything, fear, control, you know, upset, everything that we're surrendering, it's like I hand this over to the divine, remembering that we are divine. Okay, that we are divine, but we forget because we're here on 3D. It's like they say when a baby is born, you know, it knows it's still connected to the heavens, to the celestial realms, and then we forget. All right, so we're going to chant it 3 times, and I'll just do it once. It goes Om Namo Narayani. Right? So we'll do it 3 times. Do it silently or out loud, but as you do it, just picture releasing. All right, so here we go. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. So there we go. So I'm just going to do one card for everybody who's watching. Maybe to do with our what you've just released, what you need to know. Message from the heavens. Okay, it's the supermoon card. Now, the supermoon card is a good one. It says emotions are running high. But I have had these cards for long enough to know it's a good card. And I did write them, but still I read the book. So this card suggests that the answer to whatever you're asking is writ large like the full moon, ta-da, set against the velvety night sky. If you're wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or relationship or letting go of fear or control, the answer is very. To use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. This card is about being larger than life and being special and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome, yay, when this card comes up. But you may find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. Well, we've got the emotion right now. There's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about don't come along every day. So take action. And the attune to the moon I'm going to give you. Well, first of all, a resolution to your question is closer than you may think, which is great. Speak to the goddess, ask for her assistance. And the final thing I want to sign off with is I just must trust. So just write that down. I just must trust. Trust the signals you're getting. Trust the signs that the universe is sending you. So I'm going to finish there. There's one thing I've just remembered to say is if you would like a reading with me, well, guess what? I don't really do readings at the moment because I'm so busy writing. I basically do readings for family and friends and for people I work with. I don't do paid readings at all. But if you'd like a reading with me, I am about to give one away to one person who buys my 2022 diary before it comes out in about 1 week's time, okay? So if you buy it, then go onto my Facebook page and I will explain how to go into the draw for a reading with yours truly. And I would love to do that. I can read your cards. We can look at your chart. One person who buys it before it comes out in a week will get a free reading. There you go. It'll be about 45 minutes if you can stand it. All right. So on that note, I'm going to close with 3 Om Namo Narayanis. I know I just did them, but I just want to do them again. This is for my teacher, and this is for you, and this is for the full moon, and this is for I just must trust. Okay, are you ready? Do it with me. Here we go, 3 times. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. And I'm telling you, I feel the goddess here with us really, really strongly right now. So just put your hands on your heart and just say thank you. Thank you for this ancient wisdom and for helping us to reconnect in 2021. All right, lots of love, guys. Have a beautiful full moon. I'll see you later.